Hi all. Right, back to DD at Omaha Beach. I was just looking back on that last video and there was some bits I wasn't too impressed with the recording. It got a bit blurry at times. Now, I'm just trying to get used to using well, not new phone, it's not a new phone, but it's meant to have a newer phone than the one I was using before, but I was using an app on that Filmic Pro, if any of you know, but I might have mentioned this before, but I wonder if it's maybe because I was getting slightly better results because of the app. So I'll see how we get on with this. I mean, I wasn't awful. It looked pretty good. It was just there's certain bits that seemed a bit blurry when I zoomed in, and also the focus. I think if I put my hand in front, it'll focus automatically on my hand and blur things out behind. I'm guessing that's how these things work. I'm not really that keyed up on all this, really, so but we'll persevere the now. But by all means, if anything looks terrible or awful, then let me know. Right, okay, so on with the game. So turn we are? 3. Turn 3, so landing checks in the east are going to be first. Okay, so let's see what we get. Okay, right, I've moved things across here, but what do I want? Well, I can probably use my wee tables, can't I? I've been moving things about here a bit, trying to make it easier for myself. Also printed out that index at that guy. Sorry, I don't remember the guy's name that done it, but looks really useful. You know, if you've got something that you want to look up. He's also got it in some of the indexes in red, which just directs you to the advanced game stuff, extended game. But just what was the one I was mentioned? The low tide, for instance. Let's look. See if I can find low tide. I've got low ground, or maybe it's just under tide. Let me see. Maybe it's not here at all. Tides, low, mid, high, 5.21. There you go. So let's have a look, see if that gets us the answer that we needed. 5.21 waterline hexes. Omaha Beach has 3 tidal waterlines, right? It's a big sort of section here. At low tide, all waterline hexes are above. Well, I was wanting to know about the turn, wasn't I? Yeah. Thus, any units in low tide beach hexes at the end of turn 7 when mid tide begins are eliminated. It does go on to say a unit with a climb, cliff marker, and a low tide hex is at the end of turn, or mid tide hex at the end of turn 16 is not eliminated. Right, okay, so yeah, I can probably go on. So that should be handy. That I think it's going to be quite useful to me. Yeah, things feel like they've moved again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. No, it looks okay, right? Let's just bash on, Grant. Right, so what have we got? We've got a diamond, which is a B. Well, our first tank is indeed a diamond, so a B turn 3 tank is drift 1 box east, so that's okay. And we also have this diamond tank. Of course, it's only tanks we're moving in. You don't normally have any on turn 2, just the things that have been delayed. So he drifted 1 box east as well. And well, the last one we've got with no triangles, so circle is A, which is no effect. Oh, that was all painless. Right, let's look over the rest. Right, just got 1 tank on the rest, haven't we? Sorry, that was my phone going off. Okay, so we've only got this one. He is a diamond, which is a C. Oh, I think that could be bad. Yeah, that's the one that loses a step, isn't it? So diamond C. Yeah, unfortunately. So he takes a hit. I only had 1 over there as well. That was rather unfortunate, I think. But well, so it goes. Right, oh yeah, we need to put the next guys up for turn 3. Okay. Okay, so we've got 3 units in the first division, 2 infantry units, and this is, what was it, anti-aircraft, I think. Yeah, anti-aircraft. Now, there's only a certain one of these. Does it tell me a wee thing here what ones are armoured? You know what, it doesn't. That's annoying. I believe that is one of the ones that isn't armoured though. I thought that would have told you on this wee chart, but I can't see it unless I'm missing it. However, I'm just looking at the rule book here. So obviously tanks, then you've got self-propelled artillery battalions and self-propelled anti-aircraft batteries. They're the only 3 units within the game that are armoured. I get the feeling they don't come into all of it later anyway. So basically just saying that this unit isn't armoured either. I mean, it does come with its uses. I mean, it was for anti-aircraft. The bit that I briefly read was they came on and there was no, obviously for air defence, but there was no air at all. The Germans didn't do any air attacks at all on June the 6th. Anyway, but they do have their uses, but they aren't armoured, so they can get hit just as easily as infantry. Right, let's get them out, Grant. So we've got FG4, FG5, and ER2. Right, yeah, and they do have a range, but they're pretty hard. They're not so easy to get going, if I recall. But we'll get around to seeing how they work as the game goes on. You tend to find you don't care so much about them. I think if you can try and use them as sort of cannon fodder, it's not a nice way of looking at it, but there's that much other bad stuff going on. Okay, right, over the east side, sorry, and I mean over the west side, of course, we have 2 infantry and 2 more anti-aircraft. This is our first strong ranged infantry, a range of 2. So hoping he might hang about, stay at that for, I mean, they lose their range right away if they take a hit, so but we will see. So he's DR1, DG2, so that's one of the ones that have got their a slightly different role, hasn't it? Yeah, possibly, but I think it changes up next turn anyway. And then we've got EG3 and DW3 for these 2 guys. Okay, so that's the ones, and they're, well, this is turn 3, but they're going to come in the next turn, obviously, so it'll be turn 4 when they do their landing. And yeah, it does move on to a different chart once the first sort of part is 1 to 3, and then it moves on to 4 to 14. That's when we get that's when artillery kicks in and mines kick in, and it's turn 7. Yeah, okay, right, okay, so that's that. So now we've got the event phase. So again, looking for something good. Here we go. 2 to 10. That's obviously the turn between turn 2 and 10. Screaming Mimes, German rocket artillery in WN69 hits a US unit. Right, well, that's not a good one, is it? However, it's early enough in the game that I think they've only got a certain range with that, haven't they? It's quite far back. So it's this unit up here. Where are we? Yeah, way up here. Screaming Mimi is the one with the rockets. WN69. So it says he hits a US unit. So right in the back of the book it tells you about these events. event descriptions. Screaming Memes. It says, if WN69 is occupied by the German rocket artillery unit, which it is, a US unit is hit by a Nebelwerfer barrage. I'm sure that's all pronounced wrong. Choose one US unit to lose a step within the following restrictions. The unit must be in a beach or pavilion draw hex. Alright, okay, well he does have a great range then. I must have been thinking about something else. The unit must be at least 3 hexes away from WN69 and not more than 7 hexes away. Oh, okay. So, can it hit anyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it can reach here. What was it hitting? It just says US unit, doesn't it? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, it can. Right, I'm not showing you nothing there, am I? I'm zoomed right in. Okay, it's come out a bit, Grant. Yeah, I didn't think it could reach down here, but it does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it does actually reach this hex, and it can reach this tank. It can't get anything else, but it can reach that hex and there. So it just says choose one US unit to lose a step in the following restrictions. Must be in a beach or pavilion hex. They are in both in beach hexes. Yeah, that's the pavilions. That sort of slightly grey. Obviously, all the white hexes are beach hexes. Unit must be at least 3 hexes away. Well, they are, and not more than 7. Right. If more than one unit is eligible, choose the unit with the most steps. Among units with the most steps, you choose. Well, to be honest, I suppose we put this guy here, like, and I had just said that's him safe for pretty much a lot of the game now, because he can only really get disrupted, I think, with the sporadic fire. But there's something that could have hit him right away and just took him out. However, he's going to go for one of these. No, it's just the one guy, isn't it? Yeah, that's a clear hex. So unfortunately, it looks like it's him that's going to take the step loss. And then among units with them, so I'm choosing the unit with the most steps. Among units with the most steps, you choose. If the rocket artillery unit is eliminated or disrupted, disregard this event. Well, it is not, so it's not a good event. So it's taking one of my full strength infantry, giving it a hit. Now, so now we're going to come up with a question, an issue. This unit's taking a hit. But we're not in the German fire phase yet, so can he then take another hit? So I'm going to have to do a wee bit looking up here just to find out. I know this is cropped up before. However, that is the event over. So we're going to move over to the German fire card next. I might just see if I can find out something regarding that, just to see if that unit can take another hit. Yeah, the first bit I've noticed, just that's on the flip chart, the book. It says US units hit once per turn maximum. Okay, I just had a wee brief look on the forums, because also wasn't 100% sure about the artillery as well. I felt like the artillery was part of it is part of the fire phase, but and what I mean by that is if the German units fire, hit a unit, and then you also get artillery fire, could that unit be hit again? And I didn't think that was the case. And the replies back for the guys say that, yeah, I mean, it's all part of the fire phase. However, this event was not part of the fire phase, so I'm going to have to assume that we can just leave him like that, because he can still take another hit. Which is one of these unfortunate things. And it does talk about step loss limitation 6.34. Given US unit may not lose more than 1 step in a single German fire phase, even a hit by fire from multiple German positions. You've got to spread your hits out, though you can't game the system, shall we say, by sort of saying, oh, well, that takes that hit, and because that other unit can't be hit and whatever, you've got to spread them out as best you can. Basically, you've got to make it as worse for you as it's possible to do. So the Screaming Mimes takes that guy down one, and he could potentially, I mean, like we did manage to disrupt Brown, so fingers crossed that he does get to get through it. But you never know. He's got red from this sector and then orange from here. So one other thing to keep in mind, as Schumann will not forget, but there is an event, German rocket artillery destroyed, which says that if the Screaming Mimes event is occurred at least once, the German rocket artillery unit in WAN 69 is destroyed by US naval fire. So we'll need to keep that in mind, and hopefully we'll get our revenge on the Screaming Mimes. Right, so events done, so we're looking for fire in the east. Right, so card for the fire in the east, here we go. Right, we go. Well, we can talk about this. I said heroes. I don't think that's what its actual reference is. Leader hits. There we go. Look at my wee charts here again. One leader in the position's intense or steady field of fire is hit if the position's hit limit is not satisfied by their losses. So basically, yeah, you would leave that to the last case scenario. If you still had a hit to satisfy and there was a leader there. Now, a leader means it can be, what is it, as a general, a hero. You know what, when we come to it, we'll double check it, right? Okay, so, well, what we've got here, but that is relevant, although in saying that, there's nothing over in the west. The only hero I've got is in the east. Ooh, however, red's firing. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, no, he's just on... He's not in the red fire, thankfully. Okay, oh dear. Right, okay. I've just looked at what is in the red fire and what symbol it is as well. Right. We knew this was all going to happen, Grant, just go on that. Okay, so double orange, whatever, yellow. I think I'm calling it yellow as well. Sometimes gold, sometimes orange, sometimes yellow. So double orange. We've got a circle, so there's nothing in intense orange. Oh, green didn't fire. Oh, we got lucky there. See, some bits are good. So double orange, so he is a double as well. This is triangle, but armor anyway. This is diamond, so it's okay. This is in sporadic though. And as a circle, so we'll be able to find out exactly. Pretty sure it just disrupts them, which isn't great, but it's not the worst, is it? Sporadic fire. Non-armoured US units with the target symbol are disrupted. Okay, so one hit is going to go there. And I remember that one, that he can be disrupted, but if for some reason he could also take a hit from something else as well. Not quite sure how that would happen if he was in sporadic. I suppose if it was a sporadic colour and a steady colour, do you get any of that? Yeah. You know, if this, let's just say purple was firing as well and this was steady, then, well, purple is actually firing, but it's sporadic, so he's going to be disrupted twice. That can't happen because purple is actually firing. It's on the card too. But if that was steady, he would take the sporadic fire. The way I'm looking at it, that's how I'm dealing with it first. I'm just going left to right. I don't think there is a way of doing it. Going by what I'm reading, what I've seen, I think you can do these in any order. I think you've got to do the east first, and then you've got to do the west. But you can do these in any order. But I'll just do them as that. So yeah, like I was saying, so he takes the sporadic fire here, so he's become disrupted. And if now for some reason that was a steady purple fire. Now we get to purple, he actually takes a hit as well, but he can't be disrupted twice, so that's okay. And that's only one that's going to take anything. So, and then red, yeah, well, okay, so it's going to be an overlap here because the red's going to, nah, this isn't good at all, is it? So that's not in red, is it? No, so the guys are going to get away with it. So that's the good. The bad is red's across here, and it actually overlaps into the west sector. And this guy that had just taken the hit is in a red steady fire. So this fire's coming across to here. He is a circle. So he is going to be reduced, and that's our first casualty to go in the loss limits box. We're looking for... Right, I'll pause just now, I'll find the replacement unit. Okay, so this is a replacement counter for this guy. So now he has taken a hit in the fire phase. So he can't get any more, but that's rather brutal. Okay, and then that's our first loss. So now it's just these that count when they get removed to replace the replacement counter. They go in this box. Now, if we ever between turn 1 and 16, if we ever have 8 of them in here or 8 in the other box, the game's over. That's a catastrophic loss. So yeah, and it can happen. Yeah, and just checking the rule there. During play, each time one of your regular infantry units loses its second step and is replaced with a 1-step unit, place the counter for the full strength unit in the infantry loss box for the unit's original division. If the number of infantry units in a division's loss box reaches 8 units, that division suffers catastrophic loss. And bearing in mind, we're still talking about the base game where it's 1 to 16. If we get to turn 17, it moves up, but it's still possible to get a catastrophic loss. It just jumps up to 14. And then, and by the way, I just used my handy wee index there. I'll need to find out that guy's name because that was very useful. It was very quick to find it for me. So, although there is 7 pages of it, so you're having to go through that to find. But however, that's by the by. So at 13.11. It says eliminated ranger infantry units and non-infantry units are not placed in the loss box and do not count towards catastrophic loss. Okay, so there's that explained, hopefully. Right, so reds, so that's 1 hit he's had. He's got potential 2 more hits, but I think that's the only circle. These guys, this is circle, but it wasn't armoured. Oh, and it was the leader bit then. Well, let's find out about that then. Okay, and yes, then again, that index found me 6.1 reading the fire cards. Some position colours on the fire card have a star, indicating that a US hero, HQ, or general in the sector may be hit by fire from a position of that colour. And that references 11.4. I think that goes on to look at leaders, but like I've said to you, I'm not going into it yet, but it would need to be the sort of last resort, you need to have one other hit. So we do have, the only leader we've got is in here, but so if that had been red in there, then I think that hero would have took a hit. However, it's not. The red only goes into these 2 hexes here, so that's fine. And we spoke about that being armour. Okay, so let's go back across again and finish off with the purple. And like we said, purple's across here, so it would technically disrupt this guy again, but he's already been disrupted. And there's no more purple. So that is that. Now, I'll just leave that card here this time, because we do want to check for once we go into the engineering phase. And we'll move across and find out what's happening in the west. Okay, so drawing a card for the west. Fire card. There we go. What do we get? Zoom in a wee bit there. So So double orange with a star. Double blue. Okay. Green. Sorry, I'm glancing ahead at things. It's a habit you maybe either have or you don't have. I wish I didn't have it, I think, because you just start shaking your head when you see what's going to happen. Okay, so double orange is here, and we do have double, and we're looking for circles. No circles there at all. Well, this guy again would be potential for a hit, but he's taken more than enough hits this turn. But no, he's already taken a hit in the fire phase, so he can't take another hit. This is orange sporadic, but it's armoured. You know this hero we were talking about? Right, well, he's in orange. And we do have the leader symbol, so... Well, I've still got the page open. Gem of Fire against leader. A hero general in HQ may be hit by Gem of Fire during the Gem of Fire phase if a fire card includes a Gem of position colour with a star. A position of that colour in the sector may hit a leader in its intense or steady field of fire. So that's what's happening. If a hero is hit, he is killed. Flip his marker to the inspired side. Now, it's not all terrible. In actual fact, I suppose having it on the tank, it still gets a free turn because it's now an inspired unit. It doesn't benefit from the other things that the hero gives, which is, I want to say either one strength point or it can add a weapon type. Kind of guessing at that one a bit, I think. Maybe we shouldn't be guessing, Grant. Maybe we should be telling people what it actually does do. Hero, wildcard. I think I'm right. When calculating, you may use the hero to increase your strength by 1, or you may use the hero as a weapon of your choice. You can't choose flanking, though. That's not a weapon, even though it's a weapon that you kind of need. It's not classed as a weapon, you know. It's a manoeuvre, I suppose, but it's all built into the weapon, what weapons you need. However, we won't be able to benefit from that now because our hero's dead. So I'm just looking for the bit that tells you you would only select that. Yeah, it's just in the next bit. 11.41. Select a leader to take a hit only after assigning hits to other eligible US units, regardless of the type of fire and the leader's hex. If the number of other units eligible to hit equals or exceeds the German position's hit limit, the leader is not hit. Leaders do not become disrupted by German fire, although the units they are stacked with may. Right, so we had 3 hits to assign and nothing to assign it to. There was no units able to take these hits. So the leader had to take it, I'm afraid. Right, okay, moving on. Double blue. Well, we do have double blue. It's further along a bit. Oops. I don't think it's going to affect things. It's only the ranger that's in its field of fire. And he's a triangle, fortunately. So all good there. Yeah, green gets on it. Okay, and then green is here. It's wanting to hit 2. Well, this guy's an intense fire, so that's going to be our second catastrophic loss. Well, I'll go and find him. I didn't organise the counters, so yeah. So here he is. So he's taking a hit. This is another unit for the catastrophic loss box. That's up to 2. What was this? It was fire and green, wasn't it? So it's got one other fire, but this is unsteady. So he did survive. So we survived the red. So you've got to, I see, you can all take the good with the bad. Yeah, it's always going to be a mixture, you know. Okay, and there was no, well, we're not up to armour, artillery yet, are we? Next turn, I think. There was no armour on either of the cards. Right, that's if east and the west fired. So now we're looking for the engineer phase. So that's why I've just left the fire cards down here. So we can see what beach X's we might be able to clear. Oh, wait a minute. Just checking disrupt. I sometimes forget checking disrupt. Well, the only disrupted German units we had were in brown. And you know that talk that I said, well, all the good bit that I said there kind of happened about brown staying disrupted, us now being able to free move that into there, free move that into there. The downside was this guy got hit twice, so yeah, hey ho. Okay, it was only brown we had disrupted, like I say, so brown didn't come up on the card on that side, so they stay disrupted. Right, let's see if what we can clear. So what fired was across here, it was orange, red, and purple. Yeah, orange, red, and purple. So red goes right along to there. Well, that's green and blue. That hex there is a possibility. Yeah, that's the only hex we've got we can clear. Because that's red. Yeah, okay. Well, just one hex under there. Right, and then across in the west. What do we have? We had orange, blue, and green. So orange goes all the way to here, then green takes over, and blue takes over. Yeah, it's one of the ones where you're getting nothing right to the end, unfortunately. So can't clear anything there at all. Okay, on to the US action phase. So we've got two actions to take. Well, as I said, one free action you can take is removing disruption. So that's all he can do. So we will just do that. Well, I put the wrong counter on that, shouldn't I? There's green ones for the US, of course, isn't there? Right, that's the only guy I've got disrupted. So what do we want to do? Well, we've got these two guys in a sort of green and tens. Now, I knew when I moved this in, this infantry could preserve to a self-preservation move into one of these two hexes. However, if we were able to use an action, we could move them both. Because you can move units that are stacked as long as they go from the same hex to the same hex. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't think they can spread out. I think. Yeah, okay, here we go. 7.21. Two units in a stack may perform an action together at the cost of one action, as long as they perform the same exact action. For example, moving into the same hex or attacking the same German position. If you want the units in a stack to move in different directions or to perform different actions, you must use two actions. So, yeah. So they do need to go in, but the good thing is, if I can afford an action to spend, move both the units into there, and then we could use an action next turn to make an attack on that nest with getting support from the tank, I believe. So, but that's one action to do that, whereas I could just self-preserve the infantry into here, but it means leaving the tank in this intense fire, so it's more than likely I'm going to do that. Now, I can't move this guy, he's already adjacent to a... Ooh, can't remember the word on. What is it? Protective Hexide. There we go. So, that's fine. I mean, yeah, I'd probably like to consider try to climb him, but I think I think we're going to use one action. Well, we've got 4 tanks there. Well, 4 tanks on the water's edge. That's what I mean. Yeah, I think I have to use my action to move these into here. I think it makes sense, doesn't it? Now, my second action is probably going to be a barrage attempt. I've got multiple choices, though, haven't I? I kind of feel like either purple or orange is probably the better choice. Because again, if I pick green, there's still 1 unit in a green. So, and like I said to you earlier, there's 4 tanks now sitting on the water's edge, and we also want to move them. You know, I mean, okay, we've got a few turns yet, but we don't. This is the same amount of actions you get. You get a. Do you get any? A general comes in. Oh, I can't mind. Before you get to. Or is there an HQ? I think there maybe is something next turn. And hopefully we'll want to end that in a position. We want to land in a position where we get to. You know, within range of the HQ, so we can activate at least 2 of the tanks, hopefully, and maybe even more. Yeah, I get the feeling it's turn 4, isn't it? I'm looking up there, but they're all piled up, so rather than go and look through it. Okay, right, what are you going to barrage, Grant? Right, I think I'm going to go for orange, so I'm going to use this guy. What was the last card? It was a circle. Right. I'm going to use that guy to barrage. He's a triangle. Now that's a nest with depth marker. And we have 4 strength. So the colour, yes. Yeah, it's got to be the colour, yeah, because he's got a depth marker. The symbol is no good. So okay, so we're looking for orange. The last 3 cards had orange on it. Purple might be a better shout. No, stick with your gut. Right, okay, so we're going for orange. We're trying to barrage orange. Here we go. Hey, good. Got it. Well, just as well we didn't go for purple. There we go. So we get disruption on the orange nest. That's good. And that's our actions complete, I think. Like I say, we can't self-preservation move that anymore. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so over in the west. Okay, so what we got? Well, this guy didn't survive, did he? We're going to self-preservation move him up to there. That's a sporadic fire, so he should be safe. Now the ranger. Now should we be starting to climb? He has still full strength. Blue's doubled. I mean, we can tap. What is that again? That's a scalable cliff, isn't it? So we're pretty sure we can't attack across that. Scalable cliff. Yeah, attack prohibited, but we can climb it. So I mean, him being a ranger, we can just free move now. The red, but that's a sheer cliff. So. Yeah, I think probably better just starting to climb, eh? Yeah. Okay, let's check that procedure again. Yeah, I figured it was quite a procedure. Right, this is action to climb a cliff. There's two. You can climb a bluff, which is easier, but climbing a cliff, which is what this is. A US infantry or ranger infantry unit in a hex with a scalable cliff hex side may scale the cliff by conducting 3 actions over the course of 3 turns. In the first turn of the climb, conduct an action to place a climb cliff marker on the unit. Do not move it. So we place a climb cliff marker on it, and I'll just angle him to say that that's him had his action. Do not move it. So in the next turn, we conduct a free action to move the unit into the hex, into this hex, across the scalable cliff hex side, and flip the marker to its climb side. And then in the third turn, we conduct a free action to remove the climb marker. So it is quite a procedure, really. And while he's sitting here, he's still in steady fire from this blue nest. So yeah, it's not. I mean, I suppose the other option might have been, would that have been better actually? It's going to take 1 extra turn to do it, but then at least I'm sitting in. Yeah, you know what? That maybe is. There's not any crazy rush to get up there, really. I'd like to get him up there full strength, because even 3 strength attacking into here, I don't think there would be no bonuses, but it does still have depth. So, okay, we will. I'll take that back, and what we'll do is we'll just move him into here. And then we can start the climb into here, where he'll sit here for 2 turns in sporadic blue fire. I mean, he's still going to end up sitting in steady fire hex eventually, but yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. Right, what else we got? Right, we've got this guy. Well, this guy survived. He got a break. So yeah, he's definitely preservation moving into there, out of the intense fire. So that was a good one. And then, of course, the situation along here. Yeah, looked like it might have been nice, but so we do preservation move him into here. Still. Yeah, and we preservation move this guy into here. And then we've got 2 tanks. Yeah, at least we're going to be able to do something. So that's a free yeah, we've not used an action yet. That's good then. That's good. So we're going to get maybe move one of the tanks, I don't know. Yeah, we should probably have a go at orange, maybe. If we had to go orange, a free attack there, free barrage, use an action there, and then the third one, if we do take orange out, we can maybe move this tank into orange. That sounds like a plan. We've just successfully barraged orange, with me saying that the last 3 cards have been orange. So that's the last 4 cards now have been orange. That doesn't feel good anymore now. But he can only barrage brown or orange. Brown's already disrupted, so it's either that or we move him. I don't fancy that. And he's only brown and orange as well, isn't he? Meh. Not so good. These guys, well, this guy could go for orange or red, and so could this guy, but these are going to cost actions and they're reduced. Yeah, I can't see orange coming up 2 more times. I don't know what else I can really do. I don't want to move into these intense fire. I mean, although we still have brown locked up, it's a bit silly to. I just can't see us. Right, let's do it. So I need the colour again, because I'm going for the. Oh, I wonder if I should go for that, because then I get the chance of the symbol, and then go for orange. Just have a card in between. I feel like drawing the 5th orange card on the trot. I mean, I don't know the percentages. I'm sure somebody's worked it all out. I mean, how many colours actually is there? Oh, you know what? I don't do all that sort of counting into things and whatever. Although, here's me looking at the colours that I previously went. It's only because they are laid out up the top there. Just gives you some idea. I'd be kicking myself for turning up orange though, wouldn't I? Right, I think I'm going to take a chance with this and do it the other way about. So I'm going to use my inspired tank, which is 4 strength, and it's a triangle, to go for the single position, the one without depth. So that means I need orange or a triangle. So I'm kind of thinking like, I might not get orange, but if I got the triangle, that'd be great, and then I'd feel more confident about going for that one. So here we go. We're kind of looking for a triangle here, but I suppose orange works too. Oh, I got both. Oh, damn, that's annoying. Because I really wanted to hit the double position, really, didn't I? Oh, dear. Right, okay. Well, there you go. A gamble that didn't really pay off, but so now if this goes for it, we've got to draw another orange. I've got to take the chance. I've got to go for it. So we're going to use the action there. I just feel like it's not going to be, is it? Right, here we go. Oh, well, there you go. There must be a lot of them. Well, the colours. There you go. So that's perfect then. So good. Makes me feel a bit better. Felt like, I don't know, having 2 catastrophic loss units already. I don't know. I'm sure that maybe that is not that bad. But I'll tell you what, that's a nice sight, that. So now, and like I said, now the great thing is, I'm not going to attempt to, I could have a go at barraging that red with that, but I think the fact he's 2 strength, you need symbol and colour. But we've got this tank here, who can nicely come up into here and not have to worry about being in that intense orange. Wow, these are disrupted. Okay. So yeah, nice wee finish there to the turn. And well, that's us. That's everything, isn't it? Okay. Right, so that's the end of the turn. So we'll discard the cards, move the turn marker on. I'll turn all the units back round, and there's still no shuffle, so I'll fix all that. Okay, there we go. All set up for the next turn 4. I get the feeling that was a nice finish. I get the feeling Martin might have been shaking his head at some of that card drawing skill there. The pinky strike again. Sorry, it's just an inside joke. Yeah, okay. So I'm sure they'll get their revenge on me. It doesn't keep going smooth like that, and I can assure you, I'm not manipulating any cards or anything like that. There's no point playing these games and try to do daft stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you trust me on that one, but anyway. Okay, well, that's the good thing about these episodes. Are going in, getting them down to less than an hour. Yeah, I suppose they should go in quicker. I was just thinking back to some of my anime action stuff, and also that doing some Fire in the Lake stuff as well. It's quite a bit longer, but quite good if I can just make these an hour episodes. It will get a bit trickier once we start making some attacks and whatever, and get some HQs on the board and have more moves. So yeah, I dare say they'll become bigger. Right, anyway, stop rambling, Grant. Let's get this one uploaded. I'll maybe have a wee double check on things, although that was quite quick. So I might take my chances and just upload this one and see if I like to watch them back and have a glance back just to see if I spot anything silly. There's nothing worse than putting something out there and then noticing that daft wee thing that you've just created in your own mind. Okay, anyway, I'll be back with turn 4 soon, guys. Okay, cheers.